Hi everybody, it's Carla. Today we are going to do, we're going to start our France and Flowers Junk Journal, part 2, and we're going to start with the construction of the journal. So I have learned how to construct junk journals from some really talented people on YouTube. I didn't invent this. I took bits and pieces from, different creators. And I kind of do what seems to make the most sense for me and kind of the easiest, but also I think they turn out really nice constructed books. So yes, this is part of a cereal box, and that's our base for our junk journal. And it isn't going to just be this, but we are going to start with this. We're going to build it up. We're going to add a couple more layers. We're going to cover it with pretty fabric. We're going to insert our signatures, and it's going to be a book in the end. So I'm hoping this isn't going to get too long. If it is, again, I'll break it up into 2, but I've kind of done a lot of pre-prep, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping that it'll go pretty quick. So I'm just going to show you, I already kind of did this to save some time, but on another kind of box, which by the way, this could make a great book just because of the size of it. So the way I do this on any box is I will start deconstructing the box at the natural places where it is put together. So this is a glue spot. This is where there's flaps and a seam. And also up here. Now down here, this is just folded over, so there are no seams and no, there's nothing holding it together except for the fold itself. So then I undo the other seam. And now I have my book base, basically. I then will cut, depending on the size that I want, I will cut off, I definitely cut off all of these, but I'll make it to the size that I want. This one happens to be 5.5 by 8.5, which is, basically an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper folded. So I would take this and I would cut it to whatever. It could be 9 by 6. Sometimes that works out too. So I would cut off all of that. I leave this part attached. I know that you can detach it and then kind of reattach it, but to me, it's like it's already there, and I'm going to enforce this anyway with tape. So I leave it attached. So, and then after that, I would come in with extra pieces of, chipboard and things like that to reinforce. So that is basically the start of a junk journal made out of a food box. So, all right. So these are the fabrics that I've already chosen. They're Frenchy. This is a beautiful toile that I've had for several years. I made some curtains out of it at one time. And I never really sewed it. I just kind of pinned them up because I didn't know if I wanted to keep them as curtains. So I have a lot of this fabric around. It's beautiful. That will be the exterior of our book. On the interior, I have this, I don't know if you can see, it is French writing on here. I got this at Walmart. They have these little packs of fabrics. They're very inexpensive. They're not scraps really. They may actually call them scrap packs or something like that. But I thought this was really pretty with this. That'll be on the inside. I think I'm going to be covering our spine with this on the interior, but I'm not sure yet because I am going to have fabric in there as well. So we'll see about that. So first things first, let's see here. Yeah, okay, let's do this. So the reason that I cut this I wanted to do a 9 by 6, but I had these pieces of chipboard rather. These were like inserts from something, I don't recall. So they were 8.5 by 11. And I knew that if I cut them in half, of course I would have, 5.5 by 8.5. So that was what kind of determined the size of this. And I could have found other pieces, or I could have pieced cardstock together or chipboard or whatever and made it whatever size I wanted to. But that just seemed like the easiest solution, and I knew I was going to have to trim the paper down anyway to get in here. So, you know, that's what I decided to do. So the first thing we're going to start with is sort of building up our book. So yeah, I think I already told you this, but 5.5 by 8.5. This is going to be a bigger spine, a little over 2 inches. So this will be a nice book, a nice beefy one. I'm going to have 3 12-page signatures in here. There'll be plenty of room for that. So let's start gluing some stuff on. Let's see, get that out of the way. These are our little bits to build up our spine. This is the piece, because I like to do a hidden spine, that I'm actually going to sew the signatures into. So there's that. And I'm gonna make this triple thick, because, you know, a cereal box is a great start, but, you know, it isn't really like super sturdy, just the box itself. And I could just do one, but I pretty much decided just to go with the 3. We're gonna really beef this one up. So let's start by gluing down our extra chipboard pieces. I've already cut these to size to make sure. I made them a little bit shorter going this way because of any, you know, this has to fold and we don't want to run into anything on that side. So I'm going to lay down quite a lot of glue because we don't want it to come loose. And I haven't had any issues with that happening before, but you know, you want to rather be safe than sorry, right? Let's see how this feels. I mean, if I do this and it's like, oh, that feels really sturdy, I might only do the one extra piece, but there's that. Just really push that down. See, and we still have a nice little room. Let's see, yeah, there you go. So that this isn't going to be running into that. If it does, we'll work with it. We'll figure it out. Let's do the other side first here, just in case I change my mind. Let's see, are these the same? One of these was a little heavier. Now I can't remember. Okay. All right, lots of glue. Hope you're all having a good week. It's spring here in Colorado and beautiful. And I think we might be over the snow, finally, although it has snowed in June. Like not like a big blizzard or anything, but it happens sometimes. So I'm sitting here looking out at the green belt and it's gorgeous and very, very pleasant and inspirational. Okay, that is down. And you know, like if it doesn't line up, I mean, it is the right size, but I'm a human cutting things. So if it's a little off, it's okay because it's going to be covered, and you can kind of scooch that down. Okay. All right. So let's see. Well, let's do one of these back ones here. It's part of our cereal box. This is just part of, I guess it was part of the side, or it was a scrap or something. So I'm just going to stick this down here, and I have deliberately not made this the entire width, again, because we need room to, you know, to fold the book, to close the book. And generally, if at all possible, gluing the chipboard to chipboard is the best. But it's not always possible because, like on this other side, you know, it is chipboard, but it's not like the rough side. But it's, I mean, it's gonna hold. This is very sturdy, very strong glue. So we've got that down. I mean, already this feels pretty good. But This is going to be big. I'm going to have a lot of pages in it, which is why I think I want to continue to beef it up. So let's continue on. I don't think there's such a thing as making it too strong. So we're just going to err on the side of caution and safety. Okay. Oh, the glue. Oh, I got a whiff of that. Okay. Maybe I should wear a mask when I do this. I don't know. Okay. Got our second. Oh yeah, I mean, that almost feels like an actual book cover. So we want to be able to work in it, not worry about it falling apart. You know, on a smaller book with less signatures, you know, you can go a little bit lighter. But if my last France and Flowers is any indication, this is going to get fat. So we want to prepare for that. Okay, and that is down. I'm going to see, curious to see how long this takes me in real time, because obviously before I've never really timed it. And I'm not live, but I am, you know, doing this in real time recording. So we'll see. And this is from a Chewy box from my kitties. So, you know, save all these things. They come in really handy. I don't know what I would do. I mean, I actually have too much. I have a lot of stuff in my basement. A lot of boxes and stuff that I was like, oh, that could be a book. That could be a book. But it's getting a little out of hand. So I'm going to have to go and get rid of some stuff. I don't need that many book possibilities, and I'm going to continue to eat. So I'm sure I'll come up with more. Okay. And there is that one down. Let's see if we can scooch it over. And do we close? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See? That's nice. Now the one that my signature is going to be attached to, or signatures, is a little bit, I made it a little bit smaller, just so it really does not get in the way of anything. And so that is not going to go in until we do our signatures. Okay, now, so because of this fun cereal box, I'm going to put some white paper over this. Here, let me show you why. It's not like real obvious underneath. And maybe it's just because I know it's there. You're not going to be able to see that. You can kind of see, right? But if you put the white under it, or just anything solid, can you see? It might not show up on camera. Well, anyway, it's a lot brighter with the white under there than just to let it show through with the orange. I mean, I'm probably the only one that would notice it. But I figure it can't hurt, you know, if nothing else. We're just kind of continuing to build up our book. And it's all going to be covered with the fabric, so it's not, you know, it doesn't have to be. This paper had some little lines on it, apparently. I printed on it at one time, or I think it got jammed in the printer or something. And I was like, well, I can't throw it away because it's perfectly fine other than that. So there's that. I got another sheet. I'm not going to do the spine because I'm probably going to be putting some kind of ribbon or something over it. So you're not going to be able to see any of that coming through anyway. So there's no reason to, you know, let's not do work that we don't have to do. We'll work smart. There's that. It's almost time for a wet wipe because I'm feeling a little sticky here. I mean, look, look how you can still see it through the white, but it does help under the fabric. It really does. I didn't want to do it. I was kind of like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's another step, but it's worth it. Okay, and we're also going to do that on these two on the inside, because this is a very, very thin fabric. Now, if you didn't know, you wouldn't know. Can you? Oh, you can really see that. You see how much brighter this looks with the white underneath? And again, I'm not going to worry about this because this is going to be covered. So let's do our little white papers. You can hear the glue going down? Okay. I'm just waiting for somebody outside. I have the window open to start mowing or using their weed eater. That seems to be a lot of that stuff going on right now. And it happened the other day when I was doing a flip through of one of my books, and I was like, oh, they're doing something in the back. I don't know, but I couldn't stop. So I think they were using their leaf blower, my neighbors here. What are you gonna do? Can't do anything about it. I could hear it on the video, so I'm sure other people could too. Put this little guy down. Okay. Now, we've got all of our whites. Oh, this is nice. This is nice and sturdy. Really, really nice. Okay, so now we are going to, let me close this up so it doesn't dry up. Now we're going to reinforce our spines, or rather, well, sort of the spine, but I'm gonna be doing, so you can do all kinds of different tapes. You could use duct tape, which I almost did this time, but it is really heavy. You can use masking tape. I know it's not probably the greatest option, but it's really easy to work with, and if it's already pretty sturdy, you know, this can work in some instances. I'm going to be using this, you know, what is it? It's like wrapping tape or whatever. I like it because it's clear. It's really strong. I mean, if you can mail a package with this, you know, it's pretty strong. So what I'm going to do is, and actually before I do that, I'm going to put a little bit, oh, I can close that, a little bit of glue over this. I know the tape is really strong, but we're just going to really make sure. It can't hurt, right? It can't hurt. And, oh, don't stick on that. Okay. And here's where it's tricky because it's hard to see. Like, I can't really see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to go do this. Because I'm also going to be doing this on the front side. So this doesn't even have to, oh, I just stuck that in the glue. Doesn't even have to go all the way down. I'll just use my fingers. Yeah, seeing it still closes nicely. Just press that into that. That is going to help reinforce that, what would you call that? Like, oh, there's a word for it. I was going to say junction, but that's not quite right. Intersection? Something like that. Okay, let's get another piece of tape. Don't let your tape close up on you. That happens to me all the time. And I'm trying to find the end again. I'm not going to let that happen. Okay. All right. Okay. Don't do that. Okay. Okay. And we're going to put you down. Okay. The tape from the other side, I'm going to wrap around to this side. So that is going to cover that little gap there. Yeah, that's going to be okay. All right. Really pushing that in. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now let's go to this side. This is where I'm going to make it a little bit longer and then wrap it around. This is probably, you know, the most tedious part of constructing a book. I do have to say, I think constructing the book is probably crazily my favorite part. I love decorating, but there's just something about creating something out of nothing, or, you know, cereal boxes, or, you know, a Stouffer's box or whatever. Whoever invented this is brilliant. I have that to say. Okay, get that down. Are you gonna cooperate? And I'm just gonna wrap that around to the other side. Pull this up a tad. I just stuck my hand in the other glue. Okay. Stick this here. It's all going to be covered, so we don't have to worry about how this looks right now. It's not pretty, but that's okay. Okay, don't lose my tape. Okay. Now let's do our other side. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it's hard to see because it's so obviously transparent. Okay, just fold this up so you don't lose your spot. That really is unfortunate when that happens. It takes forever to find it again. Okay, so press that down, flip it over, bring it down, and bring it down. And that is that. There you go. So now, I mean, this isn't the only thing that's going to add strength to this, because we're going to be having, you know, fabric going all around it. So that adds strength too. So let's just start with our fabric. So I've already cut my fabric. Let's do this side. Well, yeah, okay. So when I cut it, I wanted to make sure that I had something showing on the front, you know, that kind of made sense, that was kind of pretty for a front. So this is going to be the front, and I will probably end up putting some kind of embellishment up at the top here. And then the back is, you know, pretty neutral, and this lady is on the spine. So oh gosh, maybe I don't want to cover her up. Well, we'll decide. I actually can't see anything coming through that right now, so yeah, I think it'll be fine either way. So let's get this down. I'm probably about an inch over on each end. I just ripped this fabric because I kind of like the you know, the rough edges. You can cut it. You can use pinking shears, regular scissors, whatever you want to do. And we're going to start by doing this. I learned this from the Paper Outpost, because I always had trouble with the corners, and then I saw her do this and I was like, oh, why didn't I think of that? That's brilliant. Okay. So what you're going to do is make sure we're kind of even here. We're going to bring our little corners up. I know this is different than kind of the usual way. By the way, I'm not putting glue on the fabric because it's going to stay put, and as long as I pull it tight enough, it'll be fine. And I don't want glue coming through the fabric, you know, to the front. because that could really, you know, I mean, a little bit probably isn't going to matter, but I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin the look of the fabric. Let's see here. I'll go like this. And we don't have to worry too much about the way this looks because this is all going to be covered with our inside cover. Where are you going now? Okay. I wonder if I need a little more glue on there. Okay. I'm going to do that. And I've pulled it nice and tight. Okay. And then you just, oh, I got a big glob there. We're going to use it. We're going to use it. Okay. So now we're going to be going like this. So I'm going to go over this a little. I mean, I guess I could put it on the fabric. It doesn't really matter. We're going to overlap that little corner a little bit. And the way she showed it is you kind of pull, make sure it's nice and tight. And then you kind of go like this. And you go down like that. And you press it down and you press it down like that. Look how nice that looks. And this is all going to be covered, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so now we just want to make sure that on the other side, we really, really pull it. Instead of flipping it, I might just really pull it and go like this just to make sure, because I don't want it to be all loosey-goosey on the front. Lots of glue. We need lots of glue. I want it to hold. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. Now I just stuck my finger in a big clump of glue. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Pretty. Pretty, pretty. Okay. And a wet wipe. This glue wreaks havoc on the manicure, by the way. Okay. So there's that. Now we can do our sides. Let's see how we're doing. 27, that's not too bad. We're at 27 minutes. Not too bad. We do have a little bit left to go yet, but we're going to do that and that. Pull it up. I'm trying to pull as tight as I can. And see, it makes a nice little square corner there. Okay, and our other end. It's just, we're gonna use that glue. I'm not gonna waste it. I got a string in the way. Okay. String in the way. Cut them off. Okay. Bring this around. Pull, pull, pull. Pull and rub. Pull and rub. Okay. Look at that. Okay. Oh yeah, this feels nice. Nice and sturdy. Isn't that pretty? And she's on the side. Yeah, I can't cover her up. She's too pretty. I could put something here. I might do that. Okay. Okay, stop looking at that. Okay, let's move on to, well, let me get some of this off my fingers real quick. I don't know why I'm bothering, except that when I work with my paper, then everything's going to stick to my fingers. So now we've got this, which again, I've already cut to size, just knowing that I wanted to cover up the ends of our cover paper. or cover fabric, and leave just a little bit showing. So, I mean, it's pretty easy. I'm just gonna throw down, I'm gonna do a throw down a bunch of glue. And I know that there can be issues with fabric like bunching up in, you know, in these folds. However, there's gonna be fabric on it anyway, possibly. And this is a really, really thin fabric. I mean, you could see like when we went over the white paper how thin it is. So I'm not too worried about it. Let's see, I just want to really get lots of glue on here. Oh man. Oh, this glue has quite the aroma. And I'm gonna lay this down. I don't know how forgiving it's gonna be, so I want to make sure I have it as close as possible where I want it to be. That is pretty darn good, if I say so myself. And I do. Okay. Oh yeah. See, I mean, there is gonna be more over that, obviously. We're gonna have our signature piece going over that. Okay, let's see if I can get that into the groove, Oops, bumped the camera, sorry. Okay, yeah, just get that in there. I mean, no matter what you put there, it's gonna do that. If it's paper, if it's whatever, you know, you gotta deal with that. There's just no, oop, there's no glue. Use that, okay, come on. Okay, wipe off my fingers. Now that is really pretty, yeah. So, you're saying, well, that is kind of an ugly piece of paper, and yes, it is. So, we're not going to leave it that way. We are going to cover it. So, what I'm trying to decide is exactly how I want to do this, because I want to make sure that it gets, yeah, this is where it gets tricky, because obviously I can't sew my signatures in here afterwards unless I go all the way through the back, which I don't really want to do. I like a hidden spine. So I could put this down. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do it like that. Okay, does it matter which side? Doesn't really matter. Okay, so I haven't done it this way before, so it's kind of an experiment. We'll see how it works. Because then I also have to get the holes through the fabric, which I don't think that I have done. I don't know if I've done a fabric covered signature spine before. Maybe, I don't think so though. So we're gonna lay this so that we've got an even amount on each side. And again, this fabric is just gonna add more stability to the spine. And this is thick. This is an upholstery fabric, which I actually have put on another book, which right now is just empty. It's just a shell. It's just a shell of a book. So now comes, here we go, the tricky parts again. So it's gonna be like this. I just have to make sure that when I put it down, obviously, you know, I'm getting it in the right spot. So let's do some holes. So I'm going to show you the signatures in a minute. It doesn't really matter where the holes, or you know, what, it doesn't really matter what the signatures are at this minute, because we just need to mark some holes. So now that that's down, so I'm going to have 3 signatures. So I'm going to do 3 spots for each signature. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of, well, I don't know. I'm not going to eyeball it because it's not really in my nature to do that. I'm going to kind of eyeball it. So this would be about the center. So this will be our first hole. And then we're going to just move over here a little ways. These are our center. I don't know if you can see that. I should have like a Sharpie or something to, here, let me get this little marker. Okay, because I can barely see that myself. Okay. Hole, hole, and then we'll put one about here. If you can see that. It kind of gets lost in the Czech cereal there. Okay. And then also what I need to do is make sure that I mark this as up. This is going to be the upside in my book. Okay. And so in between that and that, there's about 4 1/4. So let's just move that down. Let's say, but I don't want to go that, I don't want to go right in between. So I'm going to do about 1 inch. Yeah, I think I'm going to do about 1 inch. So that's going to be right around here. And I wonder if I can be really sneaky and kind of draw a line here. So I know it did move a little bit. Okay, so I know where my other one is going to be. Because this is going to be on the underside. No one's ever going to see this. Okay, and that's a hole. Okay, and then let's kind of do the same for this. I can't really see though if it's crooked. Okay, we're going to just kind of draw a line. You don't have to do this. You can totally eyeball it. But again, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to do that. I come from kind of a technical design background, so I do measure. But don't hold it against me. Put that one there, and that one there, that one there, and that one there. Okay. So now we've got all of our holes, okay? So because of the fabric, I don't think this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. This is a 1/8 inch little hole punch. It would definitely go through this chipboard, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna work through the paper. So I'm just gonna line that up in there, or through the fabric. Oh, 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 we have a hole. Look, it worked. I'm shocked. Okay. All right, let's line this one up. It's much easier than the awl, which I used previously. Oh, look at that. I like it. Okay. I didn't think it would go through fabric. There are pretty fancy gadgets out there. I think it's called crocodile or something, or alligator. I don't know. But I don't have that. And so far, I'm doing okay without it. I have looked for it, but I think you have to get them online, and it's always like when I'm at a craft store, and I'm like, I wonder if they have that. And I have not found one. Or maybe they've just been out or something. I don't know. Okay, so now we've got that hole. This one I might have to use well, no, because the fabric. Let's see here. Can we do this? I might be able to get in there. I think I can. All right. I don't want to get that under there though. Okay. Okay. Sorry. It worked. It worked. All right. You know, you learn something new every day. I didn't think this would work. Okay. This will definitely work on the signatures. Except Again, for that middle one, I probably won't be able to reach it. So that's that. Okay, now, so the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna be sewing the signatures through on this side, because it's gonna go in the book like this. And after they're sewn in, and it's gonna be a little cumbersome, and we'll have the strings on this side. I'm gonna have the, I should say the outside strings are gonna be on the inside, but you know, we'll have the strings going along here, and they're gonna be hidden in the spine like this. So let's see how that works. Like I said, I haven't done that before like that. This is an experiment. So for my signatures, I really stuck with the theme of the France and the flowers. These are all a little bit different, but also like similar. Like I have so many digital images, and I usually will do like a coffee or tea stain on those. And I've got, yeah, just like coffee stain paper. I went with French theme pretty much on everything. Here's a music page. It does have Minuet in G major, which is French. And so just a variety of French and flowers, because this is our France and Flowers journal. And this is just a vintage book page. And digital image that I have, digital images that I did some coffee staining on. So I kind of put these in an order where I knew I wanted them to be in this particular order. And then I did want these pages from the Macmillan Book of Flowers to be my center of these signatures, because I just think they're really pretty. And then whatever is going behind them, I wanted to be, because obviously they're not as big, I wanted them to be really pretty. So very similar kind of layouts for all of the signatures. And what I like to do after I kind of get them where I want them is something like this, just to make sure it's nice and tight in there. And then I'll take, scooch it in together. Make sure that's nice and tight. I love binder clips like that. And put this one down here. Because, I'm going to pull that out, because now I need to trim this off a little bit. Because as you can see, first of all, there's a bird beak, which means that the center pages are going to stick out a little bit. And I don't really want them coming out past the book. I mean, they're not very much right now, but a little bit. So I already have done these two, measured where I wanted them and trimmed them off. So we're going to do this one now. And basically, it's going to pretty much be along this line. So I've kind of put a mark on my ruler here. So yeah, I mean, this is really, well, that's handy. It's already kind of got a mark for me. So we're just going to kind of go with that. I have a fresh blade. Got to be very careful with that. And just going to line that up. Hope you can see that okay. And start, and don't try to go through all of them at one time. It's a pretty good chunk of paper. Boy, it sure does help when you put in a fresh blade though. I just use my pliers, my needle nose pliers, to take off the old blade. And there's that. Okay. Yeah. Boy, I don't think that even needs sanding. And by the way, don't get a paper cut when you do that. It really hurts. Okay, so now I need to decide like which I want to go where. Like, do I want this to be my front signature or this one? I don't know. I think I'm gonna do it like this so that I have the signature with the color, red color in the middle. And this, of course, will be kind of, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all gonna, it's all gonna be covered. I'm overthinking, I know. Oh, I kind of like that though. And this would be a music page, which will be really pretty. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this. Okay, so now here comes probably the most tedious part. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's like you got to make sure you get them in the right spot, right? So I am gonna put a clip on this here. I have to open it because we're gonna put our holes in here now. And question is, where are we gonna put our holes? So if this is the front one, but we're gonna go like this, I'm going to use our pen to kind of mark where the hole is. Yeah, because this will be just making sure these letters are upright, because this is going to go in here, so these are going to line up. So let's go back, and I do like to kind of keep these stuck together as much as possible. You know, I think I need a bigger one. We're going to steal this one because this page is smaller. And do that. Okay, now let's see here. We know that the little hole punch thing should work. I mean, it went through fabric. The tricky thing is it going to come out in the right place? Get this in here. I should have probably done 2 of these before. Sorry, you gotta watch me. I wanna make sure that that's, because sometimes it doesn't come out. You know, you'd think it would come out in the exact same spot on the other side, but it doesn't always. So do this. And we're gonna hope for the best. Oh wait, oh yeah, that's pretty good. It's not exact, but it's pretty darn good. Okay. Wait a minute. Did I do that right? Yes, okay. Yeah, okay. All right, I won't be able to do that for the center because obviously this isn't gonna reach. So, worked pretty well. Let's go in here. Oh, it barely reaches. Why is that? It should be the same. I think my paper shifted just a little, but we're gonna just push it. We're gonna push it in here. Yeah, that's right on there. Okay. So now we have to use the awl for the middle. And I gotta find it because I just don't have a tool that is going to go right in the middle. So just kind of get it started. But I mean, so far I've used the awl for all, for all of them. That's a little off. That's what happens. For some reason, they like to move on you. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I push it in all the way to make the biggest hole that I can. Okay. So that is our first signature. And that is going to go here, which will be in the front of the book. Okay. All right. Let's do, this was our second one. So let's up. Let's line up our little lines here. There's my marker, there's my marker. Okay, so now we're gonna go, because it's the second signature, we're gonna go to the middle. And that's pretty lined up. Oops, bump the camera. There's that, and that, and that. Okay, Right? Yeah, okay. It's not fun when you do it upside down. And then you got to start over. That is not a fun thing. And let's see. Let's steal one of these. I need to get more bigger ones. Yeah, we're already at 50 minutes, but we are getting there. So there's my middle pages. Oh yeah. There she is. Okay. Isn't that pretty? Those are so pretty. Violets. Confederate violet, yellow violet, common blue violet. Very pretty. Okay. And this is where it can kind of go wonky and kind of shift on you. But you know what? You never notice these things after the book is together because it's filled up with goodies and, you know, you're never going to see that stuff. Okay. Come on. Come on. Okay. So now, trying to make sure. That's pretty good. Okay. We'll do this side. And then we'll take our awl to the middle. Oh, it's fighting. It's getting stuck on that piece of paper. Ah, come on. Yeah, that's another thing you have to keep in mind. If you have a smaller paper like this, you want to make sure that you're coming in enough to, you know, to get a hole in it. Very good, very, very good. Okay, and we got our awl right here. Gosh, I hope I did these in the right place. Well, I know that those are right. I just got to make sure because I want to make sure that I'm going upright. Yes, I did. Okay. Because the two end ones, yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. So back to this. Right in the middle we're going to go, and hopefully it's going to be right. So you just stick it in there. This is very, very, very sharp. Easier than I thought it would be actually to work with. Okay, it's a little off, but let's see here. I think we're gonna just have to go with it. Okay, push it through, don't stick yourself. Push it through. This ends up being basically the same size as our 1/8 punch. I guess if you wanted it like a 16th, you know, you just wouldn't go as deep on the awl. Okay, so there's that one. And we're going this direction, okay. All right, the last one. And then we sew them in. And other than the outside decorating, which I always do after I do the inside, after I finish filling the journal, that'll be the very last thing. So let's mark it here. Oh, there's a hole. There we go. Mark it here and mark it here. Okay. Let's see here. Get our middle, our pretty middle. Where'd you go? I have so much glue all over my fingers. Okay, there's that. Put that on there. Okay, all right, here we go. There's that. We got it right in the middle, at least on this side. See, it's like It's a little off here, but it's exactly in the middle on that side. It is not perfection, but it is good. It's fine. There's no such thing as perfection anyway. That's an illusion. Okay, so now we got this right here. Oh, okay. All right. Just have the middle. Let's see, we're at 55 minutes. Not too bad, I don't think. Putting together, constructing a whole journal. I mean, I did have some stuff done ahead of time, but you know, the actual constructing part has gone very, very well. Okay, that is that. Okay, well, actually, I might leave that on there for right now. And then this is our up. Okay, let's get these sewn in here. And then we have to, we gotta glue it down. Make sure we get it in there. So I'm using waxed, this thick waxed thread. I got this on Amazon. I got a whole kit. I mean, I think it was like 14, 15 bucks. So it came with the awl, it came with needles, it came with 2 threads and some other little tools, so pretty handy. So I'm gonna go like 3 widths, or 3, I guess it'd be lengths, of the book, of this string. You can do more. That seems to always have worked for me. And then a nice big-eyed needle. We're going to get that in there. That goes in really easily. Okay. Now, because I want my threads, my outside, my tied threads on this side of it, because I want it to come through the paper, we're going to start at the front. So you can do, like I've seen it done where people start at the back. I don't know if I see a difference. I'm just going to start at the front, and, you know, I really haven't noticed a difference in that. Oh, I did it backwards. Okay. So get that through. Oh, sorry. You start at the middle. Okay. And now we've got our middle hole here. And you pull through, and you leave a nice tail. Now on the other side, we're going to come back through and see this, it does say up, so we know we're good. And we're going to go through, yeah, this is where it gets tricky because things want to move. Go through this hole. Just have to make sure. There we go. That wasn't too bad. And we're going to come through here. What are we stuck on? Oh, we're stuck on the corner of the book. Okay. And now we're going to go all the way down through the book. And then we're going to go into this last hole. Come on through. Make sure it's nice and snug. It's kind of tough to tell because this thing is so loosey-goosey right now. And then you're going to come back through that center hole. Let's find our center hole right here. And get it through. You can kind of see right through there. There we go. There it is. Now I can see I'm threading, or I went through my thread. I don't want to do that. Okay, come through here, and I'm going to move this one on this side. Okay, pull this through. Am I going upright? Yes. I think the last one that I did for a video, I had done it upside down and I had to take it out. You can take it out. I mean, it's not that hard, but I'll try not to have to do that. So you can make it like, if you want to make this one longer, you know, you can just kind of pull through get some of your extra thread. Yeah, so these are a little bit more even. So I pull nice and snug. You don't want to tear, but you want to pull nice and snug. And go through. They say to go back around the other way. I have to turn it around because my brain doesn't work that way. Back like this. And back like that. Okay, there we go. So now, let's see, that's up, yep. So now we have our first signature sewn in. Okay, we can kind of do that. We could probably take this clip off because it just makes it kind of cumbersome. Whew, okay, so now we've got this pretty one. I just love this paper, this is so pretty. Let's go do our thread again. We're gonna do 3 times, we're at an hour. We're almost done, so I don't really think we need to break it up into 2 at this point. Just gonna keep going, just about there. Okay, same thing. I'm gonna make sure that we're upright. Yep, because there's a P. Okay, now we're gonna start in our middle hole, going through this middle hole. Okay. Leave a nice tail. Sorry if I get off cameras. I'm like, I kind of forget sometimes. Let's see, we gotta find the needle, find the needle, find the needle. Where are you? There you are. Cooperate. These poor people probably have other things to do. Okay, now we're gonna go back down to this hole. And of course, if it gets too long, you can always fast forward. I do that a lot. It's kind of the beauty of YouTube, right? You're not forced to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. And now we're gonna go back through the center, find our center paper hole, and be sure not to thread your thread, or go through your existing thread. It's really easy for that to happen. Okay, make sure that I'm on this side. I'm gonna come out on this side of the thread, and there we go. Okay, make sure everything looks hunky-dory back there, and it does. So I'm gonna pull it tight, but not ripping, sort of, Let's see, is that gonna be long? I think I want it to be, yeah, that's better. Okay, nice and tight, nice and snug. Tie. Flip her around. Tie. Flip her around again. And tie. Okay. And you can cut these off later, or you can put little dangly fun things on them, whatever you want to do. I really like this natural looking wax thread. I don't know, it seems to fit in with a lot of things that I like doing. I got one more. Okay. I don't have a clip. Oh, I do have a clip. Okay. Same business. We're gonna do, you see how 3 times just kind of is like the perfect amount. And I did not discover this. I give credit to other creators for doing that. I didn't know what a junk journal was until about a year ago. I was doing altered books, but this was completely new to me. And I was like, a junk journal? What on earth is that? And what do you do with it? And what's the purpose? And then I got it after I started kind of digging into it. It's super fun. Okay, where's our thingy? Okay, here's the last one. Are we upright? Are we upright? Yes, we are. Okay. Again, start in the middle, our middle hole, going into our end signature into the middle hole. Sorry, bumped the camera. And leave enough for a nice tail. Now we're going to go in through this upper. And to me, it really helps to have like a binder clip or a paper clip or something to hold that down with. Otherwise, for me, I have a really hard time like controlling where they are, controlling where the pages go. So now we're going to go back down through the bottom. And we're going to find, we have our little hole here. Oh, you guys, we're almost there. Almost there. Come on through. We've got to go up through. This is probably the trickiest part of the whole thing, is getting back through that center hole. And it's not that hard. Look at how easy that was. That was really easy. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Oh, I guess I could go. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, I can move it. Okay. So there's that. Take out your thread. If you want to even these up, you just, it's not crucial, but you can do that. How does this look? That's perfect. It's up. This is up. And tie nice and snug. Tie. This thread is strong. It's not going anywhere. Turn it around, tie it again, turn it around, tie it again. All right. Okay, now we got to get it in the middle of this. Why did I put myself through this? Okay, so I'm just going to put glue on this entire thing. Oh, it's really clumpy. Let's clean that off. And I might have to wiggle it around a little bit, to get it in the right spot, because it has to be in the middle. It has to be so that, you can open and close the book easily. And yes, I'm gluing down these little fabric flaps as well. We want a lot of glue on here because this is what is going to hold the signatures into the book. So this fabric is going to help. I mean, this glue is going to hold it, but I think having the fabric on here it's just like another little safeguard. Boy, there's a lot of glue. Okay, lots of glue, lots of glue. All righty. Come on, let go. All right. Turn her around. Yeah, this is going to be the trickiest part of all. I'm going to kind of lift this up and get glue all over my fingers because I can kind of see. I wish I could maybe show you better, but I have to be able to see what I'm doing here. Well, that wasn't too bad. Oh, I got to go down a little bit. But it's letting me do that. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? I got to go down a little bit more. It gives you a few minutes, so that looks pretty. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, so that's good, and that's good. Let's see here. Are you down? So now I'm going to take something to kind of, sorry, bump the camera. Rub that on there. And are in the crevice here too. And these gaps, when this book is full, you're not going to be seeing any gaps. It's going to be nice and full. Is this going to close nicely? Yes, it is. I mean, imagine when it's full of goodies. It's probably going to be, like that. Now I'm going to come back in and kind of put that fabric in the crevice there, if you can see that. And on the other side, we're going to do the same. Might have to, if I have to go back in and put more glue down, I can. But hey, this worked. I think it worked. What do you know? Yeah, I think I might have to put some more glue down there, but I can do that afterwards, like after it sits for a while and I know like how much more glue I need to add. But look, we made a book in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Of course, not counting the pre-prep that I did, but I think she's beautiful. And I'll be doing more decorations on the front. Obviously, we'll be decorating the interior pages. I will have to do some on my own because it'll just take me forever if I just, you know, do like a couple layouts per video or something. So thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate you watching. I have subscribers, like 30 some subscribers, and I know that sounds like nothing to some people, but I am thrilled and I really thank you. And this is so fun and you're making it fun for me. So I hope you enjoyed this. Give it a like and subscribe if you feel so inclined, and we will see you in the next one, and we'll probably start decorating. Thanks a lot, you guys. Bye-bye.